I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. And I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
This program is paid for by Investors Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investors Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3.
You're hot.
Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show, where we talk money, real estate, investing, and try to make sense of everything happening out there. And there's a lot going on, man.
Yes.
I'm Larry Steinhouse, coming to you live from Investor Schooling headquarters. And today, we're going to be running things a little bit different because Dr. Deb is away at a conference. So she's out there getting smarter, which means it's up to the rest of us to hold things together here. And yes, of course, Omri Morad is here, fully energized, as you could tell.
Yes.
How did ChatGPT know you were fully energized?
I don't know. I'm actually very tired today.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Anyway,
So, yeah.
fully energized and ready to jump in. So between the two of us, this should be interesting. Today, we're going to be diving into stock options, real estate, interest rates, investing strategies, and what's really happening in the economy and the political landscape. Not the noise, not the headlines, the stuff that affects your money.
You said davening?
What?
What did you say? Davening into investing?
Diving?
It was diving?
Diving?
It's
Did I
my
say diving?
it's my
Diving.
accent. It's your accent.
Diving.
What's diving?
Diving into.
Diving.
Diving into.
I heard davening, and I was thinking about listeners that think that we're praying for good returns. We're not praying for.
We should be praying for good returns.
We are doing what we need to do to get good returns. We're not
Absolutely.
praying for good returns.
All right, we're broadcasting live from Investor Schooling, where people don't just talk about investing, they learn how to do it. And don't forget, you can RSVP for a free class this Thursday night at
Investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, I want to thank you once again to our featured sponsor, the Sultan Income Fund. Invest with the Sultan and collect like a king. The fund, don't forget, is designed for focused investors targeting a preferred return. Oh, we're not allowed to say that it's between 36 and 48% because our attorney said we're not allowed to say it anymore. So returns so high that our attorney says we can't tell you what they are. All right, let's be clear. All investments involve risk. Returns are not guaranteed, and any opportunity is available through an official offering, which is a PPM only. So you have to go and get the PPM. Investors should review all risks carefully and consult their advisors. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and participation may be limited to accredited investors. Okay, and if you want to find out more, you could send a text message to 26786. That's 26786. Send the word Sultan, S-U-L-T-A-N, to 26786, and you can find out all about that too. All right. Also, special thanks to the Joe Keller team at Cross Country Mortgage, the only person I trust to get a mortgage.
Oh, he's the
especially
best.
for high-end houses.
Yes.
Loans over $2 million are really difficult. He can do them for you. By the way, somebody asked me the other day, said, can Joe get me a loan for $300,000? And I said, of course Joe can get you a loan for $300,000.
Yeah, it's a specialty that made people believe it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, he does loans under $2 million, but the thing is...
Aim high.
Right. The thing is that it's hard to do a loan over $2 million.
Correct.
He knows how to do it. So if he knows how to do a $2 million loan, he can certainly do a $300,000 loan.
Correct.
So call Joe directly at 215-817-9084. That's 215-817-9084. And don't forget, this show is a live call-in show, and the phone number is
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. Every question you have about anything related to money, even to politics, even if you want to ask us how was the day for us, whatever you want, just give us a call. It's so much more fun when you call 855-939-1137.
All right, if it has anything to do with money, investing, real estate, stock options, or financial decisions you're trying to figure out, or even politics, we want to hear from you. By the way, don't forget Deb's at a conference, Omri's in the building, and we're live. Let's go.
We're live.
We're live.
Yes, I waited for the show. You know what I'm doing right now? So, all my options expired yesterday. No, I'm sorry. Yes, they expired yesterday. So today, I can have a clear view of the account.
Yes.
Okay.
They expired, or your stocks got taken.
No. My options expired. Some got taken,
Right,
some
okay,
not.
Right, exactly.
The
This
only
is a perfect mix, by the way.
The only thing that got taken, I is Amazon.
So why is that upsetting you?
And I've actually sold it a lot out of the money.
So what?
But
That's great.
I know
That's fantastic.
it's recovered a bit.
Okay,
I know.
I'm sorry. You only made how much money on that trade?
We need to disconnect the mind of how much money other people make.
No. You need to disconnect the mind from anything. You need to say, hey, how much money did I make? How much money did I make this month, right?
So it's funny because, Amazon could go up, it could go down. My $5,000 out of Amazon is certain. Nobody could touch the $5,000. Somebody else made $30,000 over Amazon. I'm happy for them.
I know. So why are you even thinking about that? That's the time from you bought it. Maybe you bought it last week and they only made $5.
Exactly. Nobody knows.
So stop worrying about that. Listen, we're consistently doing what? In our own accounts, we're consistently doing 6 to 9%, right?
Correct. Income.
A month.
Correct. A month.
Right? A month. 6
Yes.
to 9% a month. And if you guys want to learn how to do this, you can just go to investorschooling.com.
Listen, we're talking about a very bad month because of very bad stocks.
Right.
Not very bad stocks. I'm sorry. I take my word back. Because of stocks that went. We didn't expect
Right.
it.
Don't forget, we're getting paid today, right? We're getting paid today. No sound on YouTube. I don't know why there's no sound on YouTube. This is no sound on YouTube. There has to be sound on YouTube.
No. Make sure
it's on.
the
It's
link.
on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on.
Want to check
It's not
the
muted.
headphones?
I can't right now. But there's sound on YouTube. I don't think I don't. So somebody on YouTube, please let me know they could hear us because somebody says there's no sound, but that doesn't make sense. Okay, getting back to you. I'm sorry.
We'll deal with that. So I'm just saying, even when a stock went down, and we're talking about a stock that went drastically down, we're talking, of course, about American Airlines.
Right.
Okay. My $200,000 account, I'm just taking off my premiums, made $12,000.
Right. So why are you upset?
$12,000.
Who else do you know makes $12,000 a month off of $200,000?
6%.
No one.
6% in a bad month.
Yeah, of course. And it was a bad month. That's right.
And you know what I'm doing right now? What I'm doing right now is transferring this money into my checking account.
Right.
Because that's what we do in this.
That's correct.
That's what we do in this method.
You get paid. So imagine, it's like me. I bought my house. I got talked about my house, actually. So I bought my house.
Why?
Right?
What
I'll
happened?
tell you in a minute.
Okay.
So I bought my house. My house is almost $3 million, right?
Correct.
So my mortgage payment, my minimum mortgage payment is $17,500. And I have $300,000 in an account that generates around $20,000 to $25,000 a month, and I pay my mortgage with that account. So I bought a $3 million house for $300,000.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
I know.
So I got to talk about it because this is pretty wild. So
what happened?
So, no, nothing bad. So
Okay.
So I'm like, because it's all related. I'm thinking about all these things, right? So my house is pretty big, and I don't know if I'm famous. I'm semi-famous, right? And I've
Pretty
had people,
famous.
I've had people show. I'm only in this house for 6 months.
Yes.
And so far, I've had 2 incidences.
Oh my God! Who else knocked on your door?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right?
Who else?
So I've had incidences where people knock on my door and they say, "Hey, you're Larry Steinhouse." I'm like, "What the hell are you doing here?" I mean, it's so scary.
Who was it?
Well, it doesn't matter who, but because like one guy was like he saw me at a real estate event and he wanted to find out more about me. I'm like,
I know.
And you showed up in my house.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just scary stuff.
Yeah.
So now it's like gotten a little weird, right? And and then there's another incident, and we got some incidents where every once in a while I have a party at my house and my neighbors complaining because I have a party at my house. So it's gotten really weird.
Yeah, it's very much because people don't understand how involved your personal life with basically what you do and your impact on other people's life.
Right, exactly.
The people.
And I realize that most of these people, I'm assuming that all of these people have good intentions, but hey, look, I don't have the security detail of the president. You know what I mean?
Yet.
Right. So now I have an alarm system and I have a camera system in my house. I have all this stuff in my house, all set up just to make sure that nothing happens. So I'm thinking about how much I paid for this. I'm going political here because it's actually drive me nuts.
You talk about the daily price you pay for your position as the CEO of Investor Schooling?
No, I don't care about that. No,
okay.
No, I'm talking about how much I paid for my security system, which was probably somewhere near, I don't know, in total, probably. Now I don't have a security detail, but I have cameras, I have alarms. I'm pretty fancy alarm system, like panic alarms.
Come on, tell me. Right? Now I want to know.
So it's probably between, I don't know, maybe $30,000 and $50,000 total.
Okay.
Right? And it's okay, but then did you hear what's going on with Shapiro, Governor Shapiro?
Yes, I did.
So Governor Shapiro, he's out there and he's talking about getting his house, not the governor's mansion, his house paid to put a security system in his house paid for by Pennsylvania citizens, taxes, for how much? Do you know how much?
No, I don't know the exact amount.
$1 million. Now, I don't know how anybody could spend $1 million on a security system unless it includes a payroll of 20 people, sitting at the house guarding it. Because it doesn't make any sense.
It's a very expensive contractor.
Yeah, a very expensive. It's an understatement. So $1 million Shapiro wants for his house. Now, look, you guys, you know what happened last year, right? When they almost burnt his house down?
Passover. It happened.
Yeah, right.
We need to mention that. It happened in Passover night.
Right.
In the governor's house, not his personal house, in the governor's house.
Mansion, right, yeah.
And I remember also his reply, his comment after that I couldn't stand. He back then showed a lot of tolerance.
Yeah, exactly.
And he called
for the anti-Semite Jew hater who tried to
he called the anti-Semite terrorist a troubled kid, or I don't hold me, but I think it was like troubled kid or troubled person or trouble.
It's insane.
And that word to me, as a Jewish person, it interfered with me, because I tell you why. Somebody try to let's say it, kill you, murder you in your home during a Jewish holiday. There was a reason behind that. It didn't came out of the blue. So I didn't like that at all.
No,
at all.
Right. So
it's
so
like
now,
his comment was, this guy should be behind bars for the rest of his life.
Right, but not because he's a Jew hater, because he's a terrorist. There's something wrong with him, right? But listen, right? So now you got him wanting to spend $1 million on a security system, and I cannot fathom for the life of me how he could spend $1 million, right? So then, of course, you got Stacey Garrity, who's the
it's a big house.
Treasurer. I'm sure it's bigger than mine. I mean, my house is huge, but it's just me and my wife and my dog. So 7,500 square feet is probably enough for us, right?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we have four bedrooms that I'll probably never see. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Stacey Garrity says no, and I think this is just so unfair to Stacey, and it's so unfair to the citizens of Pennsylvania. Why is it unfair to Stacey? Because Stacey has to make the decision as a good steward with our money. She has to say, no, this is your personal residence.
Yeah.
You want to spend $1 million? Go ahead, take your own money and spend $1 million, right? And that to me makes total sense. That's what she should be saying. But then now you've got everybody going, well, Stacey's only saying no. Why? Because she's running against him. And that's just so unfair. It's so I'm almost wondering if because for $1 million for a security system,
I ask myself if
I don't even know how you could come up with $1 million for a security system.
I don't know. I really want to see the quote.
I know. I want to see the quote.
I want to see the quote.
Number one, I want to see the quote, and number two, I want to see who the contractor is, because this contractor is brilliant, right?
I'm pretty sure. We always hear those stories about a contractor that is asking like $3 million for a roundabout and things like that, and the township paid him. This is different.
Yeah, right, exactly.
This is very different.
It's so bizarre.
I don't understand that.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah. How can it be $1 million for a security system?
Actually, we got a call. We got Stacy in Danville. Is that right?
What is that?
What's up, Stacy? How can we help you?
Hey, Larry. I was listening to your show and thought I'd call in.
Oh, that's awesome. How can we help you, man? Or woman, I guess.
Sorry.
I don't want to misgender you.
So I wanted to make a comment on the security upgrades to the governor's private residence.
Wait a minute. I'm beginning to recognize this voice. Guess who this is?
I don't know.
I just realized who it is. Who do you think it is?
It's her?
It's Stacey Garrity. What's up, Stacey? I'm so excited you called me. We were just talking about you.
Yeah, well, I was listening to you. Okay. All right.
So what do you think about what we just said about you having to spend, like, being a good steward with Pennsylvania's money and saying no to the governor?
Well, I had to, because it's against the state constitution to use taxpayer dollars to pay for a private residence. Now, we went ahead and we spent, the $30 million on the official residence because they did it the right way. But I cannot legally pay those bills. And he knows. he needs to do it the right way. They just need to add a line item to appropriate the money, and then I'll hand deliver the checks.
Wait, so actually the state can pay for it if he does it right?
If he did it correct, if they add a line item in the budget to appropriate the money, then yes, I can pay. But right now, there's no appropriation for it, and
Wait,
you
but-
cannot.
So you said it was unconstitutional, and you said it was unconstitutional, which I was pretty excited to hear. Then all of a sudden you're saying if they just do this correctly, you could actually pay this $1 million. I'm upset about that because why? First of all, two things. One is how do you? If you heard me say it a minute ago, how do you even come up with $1 million for a security system? That's insane.
I think that's what she said. There need to be an itemized list of what needs to be done, and it haven't been submitted. If I understand her correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Stacy, someone came with, hey, we need $1 million for security.
Oh, no. This work's been done months ago.
Oh.
It's already been done. We have invoices for $1.1 million, and the issue is I cannot, everybody wants the governor and his family to be safe.
Of course. I want the governor to be safe too. I may not like the governor, but I certainly want him. I certainly don't want to unalive him.
100%.
Absolutely, but the issue is as a former governor, as the current governor, he knows that you can't use taxpayer dollars on private residents, so they just need to do it the correct way. Or I have to tell you, no other governor has ever used taxpayer dollars to upgrade the security at their private residence. So this is unprecedented, so they need to get it right.
That's bizarre. So all right, so you actually did the work already, is what happened.
Oh yeah, the work's been done.
And now he's
a long
looking for
time ago.
reimbursement.
Correct.
So I didn't even know that part of the story.
Right.
That's pretty. I didn't even know that part of the story. I actually thought it was just. I thought it was just because he wanted it and if he didn't get it, I thought he wanted it and you guys had to approve it. So he's actually so here. So can we actually change it now so they can get that money back?
If they add a line item to the current budget that we're in, sure, then I could reimburse it.
So,
but right now, as it stands,
right.
it's a misdemeanor. If I pay these invoices, it's a misdemeanor, and each misdemeanor for each invoice is up to a year in jail.
You're enlightened, and I think me too. Yeah,
you know, it's really cool, right? I am enlightened. You're exactly.
Yeah.
So it's funny because now I'm talking right now at the moment. I'm talking to Stacey Gary, the treasurer, she's the treasurer of Pennsylvania, not the candidate for governor, which I'm very impressed because now I'm hearing the story of of what's really going on, and it didn't sound like it wasn't that way before. It was a little bit. I understood it as he was asking for this money. I'm dying to know what he paid. Hey, is this public record? Because I really love to know how he spent $1.1 million on a security system that I think my security system's pretty good. Now, it doesn't include people for like $50,000, But I guess it's not public. I guess it's not public information, though, right? I guess it could become public information if we actually pay it. All right, so
if we actually pay it, it will end up being public information. Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to know what he spent the money on, but at the same time, Shapiro is extremely wealthy. He certainly can afford it. Hey, obviously he paid it already. Now he's just looking for reimbursement, which is fine. But I got to ask you a question since we're so blessed to have you on the call. I'm impressed that you. I mean, I know you and I are friends, but I'm impressed that you listen, and it's pretty cool that you called in today. So I got to know a couple of things because I'm gonna go political here for as long as I can before WPHT finds out I'm going political. So while you're here, so I got to know, like Shapiro. Look, he's not Wolf. Wolf, I couldn't stand the guy. Shapiro, at least, and I've been saying this for a while. I said, if we're going to have a Democrat in, at least he's not as horrible as some of the others. But he still has a lot of things that I can't stand about.
Well, why do you think that?
Why? Because you know what? I'm going to tell you what I probably think.
Why?
It's probably because it's not COVID anymore, and Wolf to me was absolutely a dictator, and it pissed me off. I mean, I remember getting that text message on my alert that said my iPhone alert that said you must wear a mask. It was an alert, like one of those alerts,
like a hurricane alert.
Yeah, like a hurricane alert.
Yeah,
and that was a Wolf thing. That really upset me.
Who was the Attorney General in lockstep enforcing those rules?
I don't know.
Don't tell me
Josh
Shapiro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that was interesting. you just gave me a piece of information I didn't know, so now I can't stand him anymore. But there's a lot of things I don't like the politics wise. Letting men in women's bathrooms and men competing with women's sports. I mean,
Protecting a girl.
how this even happened, I don't know. But how anybody can continue to support it, I can't get it at all. It's horrible.
Well, it is horrible, and he sued the Trump administration for gender-affirming care for trans little kids who can't even decide what they want to eat for dinner. So,
Who?
it's ridiculous.
Wait.
Yeah, right.
Who sued the Trump administration? The governor?
Well, Shapiro has sued the governor has sued the Trump administration
Several
dozens of
times.
times.
Yeah.
Over 2 dozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over I don't know what the number is up to, maybe 27, but it's a lot. It's a big number. And guess who pays for those lawsuits?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
do.
Of course. Right, of course.
Taxpayer dollars.
So you don't know. I don't know if you know my co-host. I don't know if you ever met Omri.
No, not yet. We met in the Zionist convention in
Oh,
Philadelphia.
that's right. That's right. Where we were at the what's it called again? You just said it.
Zionist. Zionist.
Yeah, the Zionists. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was funny. That's actually where I met you, Stacey. I actually stood next to you, and it was wild. And it was funny. At the time, I don't know if you had already announced your candidacy, or if you. But I was so impressed because I remember when you got up and you talked a little bit. I was like, oh, wow. I didn't know Stacey was. I don't want to insult you, but I didn't know you were so articulate, because you were great when you got up, and it was like, wow, I really like her. And then it wasn't a couple of days later that I found out you were running for governor, and I'm like, damn, I missed my opportunity to say hi. But we met there.
There as the treasurer, I was receiving the Defender of Israel award.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Right, and it was a big
Yes.
shield, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was that big shield. Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
It
So
was a huge shield. Yes, and it's now in my office in Harrisburg.
oh, that's cool, because it definitely belongs in the governor's office next year.
Absolutely.
That was a plug, by the way.
Absolutely.
So tell us, since I got you and they still haven't kicked you off yet, what else can you do? Because now I just found out all about Shapiro being the one who I really didn't like more than I didn't like Wolf. So tell me about some of the things you might be helping us with in Pennsylvania. Please help us.
Yes, so here's the thing. We ranked 38th economically, which you probably know that. We ranked 39th in education. 7 out of 10 of our 8th graders can't read or do math at grade level. We ranked 41st overall. And my favorite one, because I am the treasurer, is we're spending $5 billion more a year than what we bring in. And Pennsylvanians can't afford it.
How
here's the
do you
deal.
spend $5 million more than you bring in?
I'm more about the fact that we are 32 in education. I didn't know. I was pretty sure we are in the top 10.
39th. Yes, 39th. Although in spending,
39.
we rank in the top 10. Yeah. So we need to be setting up our kids for success.
Yeah, there's no doubt at
And
all.
we're not doing it. We're failing them.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
we're failing them. And but here's the deal. Pennsylvania has led before, and we can do it again. I want you to think about this. We're the state that sparked a revolution, the state that powered the Industrial Revolution. We are the state that built the American working class. There is no reason, none, that we can't lead again. But you know what? Leadership matters. You know this. Accountability matters. And putting Pennsylvania families first matters. And there is a lot that we plan to do. We plan to enact lifeline scholarships, because the zip code shouldn't, determine what your child's future is. And Pennsylvania should be the hub of global commerce that we should be, so that those kids, they stay in Pennsylvania, raise their families in Pennsylvania, and start businesses in Pennsylvania. And we need to unleash the natural resources that are the envy of the entire world, which would create tens of thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in economic opportunity for our communities that they desperately need. And there's so much more.
So it's interesting. I'm impressed by a lot of things you're talking about right now, And Stacey, you and I have known each other, but at the same time, I was never really political. I didn't get into it. You know when I got into it? I got into it when it was COVID, and I was told I couldn't leave my house, and I was told, I started reading the Constitution and go, hey, what planet are we on? Forget about what country are we in. What planet are we in? And I started to get more and more involved.
Larry.
What's that?
Yeah, I was not involved in politics until I ran in 2020. I had never held a political position. My background is all private sector, and I spent 30 years in the Army Reserve. So 3 deployments, all to the Middle East. Operation Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom. And had I not hit my mandatory retirement date, I would have never even considered running for state treasurer, because serving was and is the honor of my lifetime. But I just cannot stand to see the direction, that our beautiful Commonwealth is going, and it's because of the failed policies of Josh Shapiro.
So so wait, I got to go back to this. So how did you decide to run for treasurer if politics wasn't in your past?
So after I retired from the military, I was still in the private sector. So after about a year, I just started missing service. And so I called my state rep and I said, hey, it was Tina Pickett, lovely person. And I said, if I'm thinking that I might want to get involved in politics, what would be the right path? So she's like, you're kidding me. You're interested in politics? That's wonderful with your resume. So I got recruited. Oh, gosh, I guess it would have been like a year and a half later, and, to run for a statewide, either treasurer, auditor general. And I said no for 4 months. And I said, guys, I'm from Bradford County. I'm not independently wealthy. I've never ran for anything. There's no way I'm running for a statewide. And so I said no for 4 months. They could not find anybody to run for treasurer because, if you recall, and you might not recall, but there was an incumbent, Joe Torsella. And he was ex-deputy mayor under Ed Rendell. He was UN ambassador, Rhodes Scholar, and, by the way, outspent me 11-1. And so I put it on, how I finally made the decision, I put it on my church prayer chain that if I was supposed to take the step, that the doors would open. And I went to my boss, who was the CEO of our company, and asked for just a little bit of flexibility. And he said, absolutely, whatever you need, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I've heard you say before that nobody thought you'd win. And I'm really glad you did, by the way. But,
oh, no.
But why did they say that?
Because an incumbent in a row office had not been beat in, I think, since 1998, and we hadn't had a row office from rural Pennsylvania in like 44 years.
Wow.
And, and the treasurer at the time was pretty popular, being groomed for higher office. And so it was logical. I understand why they thought that, and I'm glad they were wrong. So at that moment, I decided to work as hard as I possibly could and keep it as close as I could. And that's what we did.
That's awesome. So now there's a lot of people saying, hey, Stacey can't win governor. I really hope you do, by the way. So, but what do you say to them?
Well, you know what? Josh Shapiro has never been seriously challenged. He's never even had a negative ad run against him in over a decade. And so I think, he's more interested, obviously, in Pennsylvania Avenue than helping Pennsylvania families. And I think Pennsylvania families know this. And they know that we can do so much better. We should be leading the nation in all of the metrics that I mentioned that we're in the bottom of the pack in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no reason that we should be behind it. When you started giving the stats earlier, I was actually surprised at them being so low.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, it doesn't have to be this way. Right. And, we're going around telling people that. And so my husband has lived in Pennsylvania 22 years. He was from upstate New York. And this is kind of what helped me with my decision. He told me, after he heard me, all summer kind of complaining about, the status of the state, and we're spending too much money and we're not unleashing, our natural resources. He said, you know what, you're right. It doesn't have to be this way. And I just assumed that it did, because that's how it's been as long as he had lived in Pennsylvania. So he kind of had an epiphany, and I think that's what is happening with a lot of folks. They're realizing, hey, we can be so much more.
Absolutely.
We should.
And, And hey, listen, think about what happened in Virginia last November. She ran as a moderate, right? Sound familiar? And what is the first thing that she did when she got into office? She pushed legislation that reduced mandatory minimum sentences for rape, child porn, and assaulting police officers. Stopped cooperating with ICE, gave free education to illegals, and now they've gerrymandered their state, so they will never ever get it back. That's exactly what will happen.
Now we have Democrats saying this guy Cole, who tried to kill the president the other night, we're too tough on him. What do you mean you're too tough on him? He tried to kill the president of the United States, and he's upset that he's in solitary confinement. He should be behind bars
for the rest of his life.
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
He should be behind bars for the rest of his life.
Yeah, there is no doubt at all.
It's insane that the Democrats think, oh, this guy he was having a bad day. Let's just let him back on the streets. He won't try to kill the president again.
That's the problem. It's like I believe Philadelphia became contagious, and people are catching that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I feel right now. Why there is so much tolerance to this kind of behavior? Have you heard about the comment? It was maybe a year ago already about the dirt bike and the quads that are riding on the sidewalks in Philadelphia. You heard the mayor said that they have no other place to go.
They have no other place to go.
They have no other place to.
Right.
Yeah.
So let them do it.
I don't think he said let them do it. It's just, why do we show understanding? Why do we accept? Why do we look at the problem of a person that is committing a felony?
Well, she can't even remember that the governor in Philadelphia can't even spell eagles. I mean, I'm sorry, the mayor of Philadelphia can't even spell eagles. That's just the funniest thing.
Hey, Larry.
Larry,
I have to jump off.
You have to.
At my next event. Hey, great talking to you.
Yeah, I so appreciate you calling. Listen, I'm a big supporter. I'm a big fan.
Sure.
And real quick, tell everybody if they want to support you, how they can support you.
Oh, very easy. Go to GarityForPA.com, and there's a website. You can, click to volunteer, to donate, knock doors, help, pass out literature, and prayers are welcome as well.
And you certainly have my support, of course, as you know. And thanks for calling. I really appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon. All right, let's do this, Glenn. Thanks. Let's go to commercial, Glenn, and we'll get back to people on the other side. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse.
Clear.
Myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me.
Hey, Larry, I saw that Frank sent you a message about coming in and cutting spots or something.
About what? Financial Life. Yeah, new commercials. Yeah, making Thursday. Absolutely, yeah. That's with Investor School.
I'm not saying it to be on your butt about it. I'm just saying because I wasn't sure if you saw it.
Yeah, no, I definitely need to do it. You want to listen to this show because it's a live show and you can call in. In fact, here's the call-in number.
855-939-1137.
And when you call in, you can ask us questions about real estate, the stock market.
I don't know how you guys work that, but when you come in and when you do that, you should talk to him, ask him which spots he has in current rotation, and take out any you don't want.
Yeah, okay. To prepare for retirement, and annuities are not the answer.
Sorry.
What are you eating? I want something. What do you have?
Potato chips.
It's so
and you will
good.
learn so many different ways that you can make more money in retirement than you actually expected.
They're kettle chips.
.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday. That's Investor.
Yes, they are.
They're one of my favorites. We'll see you there. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that you can buy real estate with absolutely no money out of your pocket? That's right. If you've listened to our show or if you've read my book, Money Hacks, I talk about how to buy real estate with absolutely no money out of your pocket. You should come this Thursday night to a complimentary class at Investor Schooling and learn more. Learn how to buy properties with no money. Learn how to make money at closings and learn how to make a monthly income. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class this Thursday. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that you can leverage the stock market with a little bit of money to make a lot of money? That's right. We have something that we...
All right, you want to come back after this?
Yeah, sure. A lot of money with a little bit of money using stock options. Yep, you got to learn how to do it. So go to investorschooling.com and...
10 seconds.
Thursday, and I'm going to teach you that and more. InvestorSchooling.com. That's InvestorSchooling.com. We'll see you there.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. All right, I want to give back to the Larry Steinhouse show. We were just blessed with having Stacey Garrity call us. How cool is that? Yeah, it just shows cool. We get governor candidates who call us. It's pretty cool. I have a bigger fan base than I thought.
Because we care.
But I do have to say, because, I don't want to get in trouble, Josh Shapiro, if you're listening, he's not. But if you're listening, you are welcome to call in, and I will give you the same exact amount of time I gave Stacey, because, Stacey wanted to call and just comment on something we were talking about, which was the $1.1 million on your security system. I still can't figure out how you spent that much money, but that's how the call got started. And Stacey listens to me, so she was pretty excited to call in. But again, Josh, you are welcome to call in, and you are welcome to have the same amount of time, because legally I have to say that.
And we will be very happy.
And look, he is a fellow Jew. I wouldn't mind talking about that.
It's not only that.
And getting him a little more Jewish.
I want to listen to him. It will be great to listen to him. I hope he listens.
And maybe he'll understand that that was a terrorist act that was against his house, not some guy randomly burning his house down.
I hope he listens, and I hope he will call us.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Anyway, that was pretty cool.
It is.
I was pretty excited. So here's I should have seen this.
No. Are you playing with your sound effect?
Yeah, my sound effects, my new sound effect.
Your new sound effect, yeah.
This is Stacey Garrity. Ready?
Okay.
All right. Anybody else wants to call the phone number?
Please, 855-939-1137.
Yeah, I see if President Trump wants to call.
Yes, exactly. Or Shapiro again. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
All right. Very cool.
Yes.
So, we were talking about stock options. We were talking about that.
Let's
talk about some real estate right now.
Oh, my God. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Florida, and I want to talk about the mobile home park. And, and how excited it is that we're getting it better and better.
We are.
This park looks so nice now, doesn't it?
It does. It's we are still dealing with some problems. I think the biggest problem we have is to deal with the contractors in Florida.
Right.
Thank God, I got a call on Monday from a guy that came to service one of the AC units. And I said, hey, what's up? I said, I paid you. Everything is okay? Yeah, he said to me, yes, everything is fine. I just want to let you know you have a fabulous guy there taking care of your place. And that made my day. Because we looked for a long time for a good person.
Yeah, we have a new manager.
Exactly. We have a site manager.
Fantastic.
He's a maintenance guy. He cares.
Right.
The guy go at night. He find outside furniture in marketplace, and he go to grab it at night. We bought him a nice truck, so now he's extremely more capable. And he's just care. When you have employees that care, they care about you, they care about the business. They understand that this business is not only feeding you, it's also feeding them and their family. It's just awesome. And this is where we are at right now, and that's, I think, the highlight. We're still trying to rent. We have 2 units right now in the original park that we're trying to rent. On the original park. One of them is still not done. We have a contractor that worked for us in the last, I believe, year and a half. That only wants more money. He don't want to finish. He don't want to.
Yeah, it's interesting that
and it's a weird situation.
And he can't make it, and then this is a tough one.
And he blame us.
And it's a tough one.
And then he called I had a call with him. Like he calling me yesterday, threatening me.
Yeah.
That he will call the whatever. He will do. He will whatever. Yeah, he will come at night. He will take off the windows. He will do that.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's just ridiculous because
it's a silly. Because he mismanaged the job. It's our fault.
You need to remember, at some point when you in real estate, you build relationship with your contractors, even with your tenants. It happens,
right?
If you want it or not, and then it explodes when people behave that way, and that's the problem.
Yep.
And that's the problem. I had to file for eviction on Wednesday. This is a tenant that was late from the first day. She's there for a year and a half.
This is a tenant in Pennsylvania.
That's a tenant in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
She's late forever. And I told her, I broke my rule, and I told her, as long as the rent is paid in full by the end of the month, including the late fee, I won't file. She's in a position right now that she can't. She still haven't finished April, and I had to file. And she called me not with an anger, not with an attitude, not cursing. She called me and said, "Hey, I understand. I promise you I will find a way." I said, "As long as you keep doing the payments, partial payments, I promise you will, because we will keep postpone the hearing and we will make it work."
Yeah.
And I think you had a tenant like that in Easton back then that also
They always pay.
You-
They pay. As soon as you go to court,
you had to file for
Yeah,
them to pay.
Right. And they go to court too.
And it costs more money.
And they literally go to court and they say in front of the judge, "Yeah, I haven't paid my rent." They just pay the rent, and they pay the rent that day. Why do you pay the rent? Why would you, if you're going to pay the rent? I mean, first of all, if you're going to pay the rent on time. If you're going to pay the rent and pay it late, pay it late. But if you're going to pay the rent and pay it late and then wait for the court hearing,
They paid
why
you
would
at court?
yeah, the day of the court they pay. I don't understand that. Or the day after.
It's
right?
not a coincidence, I
No,
guess.
it's
Yeah.
bizarre. It's a weird behavior because now you paid for court keys and you took the day off of work to go to court.
Exactly.
So it costs you so much money. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's not an amusement park. Nobody want to be in court.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand that.
It's very bizarre.
I know. So yeah, we didn't let go with the thought that people have good intentions
Right.
and people want to live peacefully and quietly in their own homes, and I think we're getting there. There's no doubt in my mind. I know you won't like the comment I'm about to say. People have more financial difficulty right now. It's out there, unfortunately. If everybody would come to investor schooling, maybe the world would look different. Unfortunately, yes, people have more financial difficulty right now. We see more and more people that can't put down the first, last, and security. I'm not even talking about Florida.
Right, it's true.
I'm not even talking about Florida.
It's a strange economy right now. You know, they always say, the whole thing is that the rich get richer, the rich get richer, and
Correct.
I'm seeing that. That's absolutely true. Look, I see it because the rich get richer because they do things that rich people do, and the poor get poorer because they don't do things rich people do. They do things that poor people do.
Correct.
Right? And I don't know. Maybe it's because, we're kind of like the lower middle class is pretty much what we're renting to, and we're seeing it more and more that more difficult to have people come up with first and last and 1 month security. And rents rose a lot in the last 6 years.
And they are coming down a bit.
Right.
Right now, we see we can get the same amount of money. My question to you is, do you believe people have the money and they afraid to spend it? They want to have reserve, or you think they don't have it? It's a combination.
Right? So the same people who didn't have money 6 years ago don't have money now. They just have more money.
They are more stressed.
No, when I say more not money, it doesn't mean they have less money. It means that their numbers now are changed. So that maybe they made 30,000, maybe they're making 40,000 now instead of 30,000 a couple of years ago.
They pay more for gas and cheese and all that, so everything changed.
So everything's more exactly.
Correct.
So it's the same thing. So it's the same problem, but because the numbers are so high. So we've had this conversation before. You're supposed to typically the rules say 1/3 of your money should go to your rent or your housing.
Yeah.
And
the third rule.
The third rule.
The third rule. The third rule.
Yeah, I call them turds too. But anyway, and then and really no more than half. But you have to understand that doesn't really make any sense. It's a dollar thing. It's not really a rent thing. And for example, I mean, if you're making $1,000 a month, you're not going to find an apartment for $300 a month.
Unfortunately, no, you won't.
Even if you're with a friend, maybe the apartment's, maybe the apartment's $1,000 a month, and you're splitting it with your friend. It's $500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't afford 50%. You can't even at 30%. At $300, you can't afford $700 left. You have to have food. You have to pay for car insurance. So those numbers don't work. Now I use a really low number, so it doesn't make much sense. But even if you're making $2,000 or $3,000 a month and your rent is $1,500, you have to add those all up. So when I don't look at the third rule, I look at the how much money do you have left after you pay rent rule.
Correct, because some people don't have a car; they use public transport, and some people have. The thing for me is I'm trying to look at the whole picture, and when I have applications from tenants that are coming to me with a monthly income of $3,000, but they have 3 dogs, I always ask myself, I always ask myself how. I know it's judgmental. I know it's maybe not nice to say that. How can it be? How can they afford it? How can they afford it? Because pets also cost a lot of money to feed them, to maintain them. They need to go to the vet to do that.
You got to feed them.
I know. I'm saying you need to feed them.
Nobody's crazy as my wife's the crazy one. Not crazy, but
she cooks.
My wife cooks for my dog.
Yeah.
I mean, and like sometimes she's cooking for the dog. I'm like, oh, that looks good. I can't wait for dinner. She's like, no, this is not for you. This is for the dog.
So I think that's the point. Many people don't have the responsibility, you can say, and that's all about the education. Many people are doing what they want to do and what they feel like doing, and they don't consider their monthly income, and that's the problem.
Right.
I don't think there is any place. I'm sorry, again, a lot of apology this show. It seems like you said $1,000 a month, right?
Yeah, which was a.
Can you give me a scenario of a person that only make $1,000 a month?
So it was a bad example, and I shouldn't have used that number because most likely, if anybody's working, they're making more than $1,000 a month, right?
Okay.
But a scenario of somebody making $1,000 a month would be somebody working part time in a fast food place. So it's probably more like a teenager.
Still more, yeah, exactly.
But I would say that if you use $2,000 a month or $2,500, what have we seen? Some of the poor people that we see. I
think it's always average around $3,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
In the low class, it's always $3,000 a month.
Right, which is the ones and they're difficult because if the rent is $1,500 and they're making and I'm taking take home pay is $3,000 a month. I'm talking about
net.
But take home pay, it's tough. It's going to be really tough for some people.
Correct, but this is normally the only income because this is normally a one person, and it could be that they have kids and they need to also support, of course, the kids. So this is a big question. So I got you. This is a big question, but we look at that, and I will ask you a question, a direct question: will you rent to a person with $3,000 a month a place that costs $1,500 to rent?
Absolute maximum would be $1,500 a month. $3,000.
That's the max.
Pay. After that, and I'm going to tell you, it's only because if I do the math, it doesn't work.
And
they're going to have a $500 car payment. They're going to have a $100 phone bill.
Let's say there's no car payment. Yeah.
So I may,
that's different.
Yeah, I mean, now I'd be happier if they don't have a car payment.
Yeah.
But if they have a car, that means that they don't
Still,
have a car payment.
They have insurance. They need gas.
That car's going to be replaced soon.
Why?
They're going to have a car. They don't have a new car.
So what? Why it needs to be replaced?
So if it's 10 or 12 years old,
so what?
It's going to need to be replaced.
Why?
Eventually.
Can you stop being a rich person?
No, I'm not being a rich person. I'm being a realistic person.
Okay.
A car that's 12 to 15 years old.
Yes.
Is probably not going to be lasting much longer. It probably has 150 to 200,000 miles on it.
Correct.
And the engine's going to go or something's going to happen.
So, and I want to go with that. So you say that a Toyota from the middle of the 2000 won't go, I don't know, 200 miles?
It probably will.
They will, of course,
yeah,
exactly.
Right. But for how long? So I'm not going to say no to them because I'm going to.
And I tell you what I like about that. You know what's my rule. You know who are the contractor I pick. You know who are the tenant that I like to pick. And I know that I will be arrested for discrimination any second now. When someone come.
Discrimination, really?
Whatever. When someone come with a rusty car.
Right.
Okay. But they have all their papers in order and everything is organized and they know how much they come and they answer the questions. I feel much more comfortable when somebody parked in front of my rental unit with a brand new Mercedes.
So it's funny you say that. I would be, especially some of the areas you're renting in, if they pulled up with a Mercedes, I'd be really worried.
Of course. I'll be very worried. It's the same thing. If I have a contractor that's coming to look at a job, and he's parking in front of the property in a brand new Ram, I lock the door from the inside, and when he knock, I don't answer.
Got it. That one I don't necessarily agree with. So somebody says my privilege is showing.
Yeah. Listen, we need to think about it.
My privilege is showing. What privilege? So don't forget, my privilege is not white privilege. My privilege is rich privilege.
It could be.
Right? So, and I always want to make sure that everybody understands that there's no such thing as white privilege. There's rich privilege.
What is white privilege?
So white privilege is the thing that some black Democrats say that's the reason why black people are held back, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
But wait, there are black people that are rich.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't understand.
Because they're trying to keep the black vote that they're losing every day.
Okay.
Why are they losing the black vote? Because most black people are waking up and going, wait a minute, what has the Democrat Party done for me? They've done nothing for them.
Okay.
Except promise them every time, hey, if you vote for us, we're going to do something for you. Well, what are you doing? Even Malcolm X said it 40 years ago, that the Democrats were lying to them. And the Democrats kept the black vote for a really long time. Now they're losing it because people are waking up and going, I don't want to be making excuses anymore. I don't want to be a victim anymore.
Exactly. And why I need to have special treatment.
Right.
Why somebody tell me I need to have special treatment?
Right.
That will bother me.
They tell you that they tell the black people they have to have special treatment.
We will take care of you.
Yeah. No. It's more like, so you can't do it yourself because you're black. Because you're black, you can't do it yourself. So vote for us so we can do it for you. That is the most insulting and racist statement.
Yeah,
that every black person should wake up and realize that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I have hard time to accept what you just said.
Accept what? That the Democrats say that?
No, how you presented it.
But it's exactly true.
Yeah.
It's exactly true. They're basically, I mean, this whole thing with the voter ID, right? Well, minorities won't be able to get an ID to vote. So you tell me that black people can't get a driver's license?
So, I come from Israel.
Yeah.
In Israel, everybody must have an ID.
Right.
Okay, that's the law. Now, you don't have to drive. You can still have an ID.
Of course.
Because if you cross the road in a red light and the car had to stop and the car behind it hit it, right, and you caused an accident as a pedestrian, you still need to be responsible for what you just did. Also, we are experiencing in big city, also here in the U.S., all those scooters and an electric bike that people can rent by the minute, right?
Sure.
Correct. Who is responsible for that? If you're hitting an old lady,
let's just talk about walking around the streets.
So
you walk around the streets and something happens, you pass out.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're lying in the street and you have no ID.
Exactly.
And now you have a cop comes by, an ambulance comes by, and we have a John Doe. We have no idea who he is. We have no idea what his medical history is. We have no idea how to contact his kin. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me that people don't have ID. They have ID.
Answer this question. Why? What's the argue about not having an ID?
So the best way to
privacy?
The best way to cheat in a vote, an election.
No, stop.
No, seriously.
I got you.
People without IDs.
What the explanation they give?
The explanation is poor people. No, they don't even say poor people. They say black people because they don't call people poor anymore. They call people black, right? Black people and other minorities can't get an ID. That's completely ridiculous.
So I'm trying to figure out why, because Social Security offices are everywhere, which is what I did when I was 16.
Listen, I'm telling you.
When I was 16, I know they told us in school, you need to go to the Social Security office and you need to get an ID.
Right.
Because the law is after 16 in Israel. The law is after 16, you must have an ID on you.
Right. So the interesting thing is, right, so they're just saying that you need an ID for everything. You need an ID to buy alcohol. You need an ID to get on a plane.
Correct.
But you don't need an ID to vote. That doesn't make any sense. In every country in the world, you need an ID to vote. We need to have it so that you need an ID. What happened? I know you came here. We had this conversation like 3 years ago.
Me and you about that?
Yeah, we had this conversation. I told you that you didn't need ID to vote, and you were like, get out of here. That can't be.
So one thing I don't understand, what happened if a police stop you?
Real quick, we got like 2 minutes. We got Jack in Philly. What's going on, Jack?
Hey, so actually, Larry and the other gentleman, so I still do believe there's a slight amount of white privilege in America because, it's like, what's that song we got? If you had a choice of color, which one would you choose, my brother?
Which one would I choose?
I think most of us would choose
to be
white.
Wait. You want me to answer the question? I would want to be I would want to be darker skinned, like a light skinned black, I guess is probably what we want to call it, right? You know why? You ever look at those, man? They look so much better than I do.
Well, that's a different.
You're so much more attractive than I am. I mean,
we still have a slight advantage. I'll give you an idea. I went to a jewelry store and they buzz you in. They look at you. They profile you. A white guy, you get buzzed right in. A black guy, not necessarily.
Come on, stop that. Not anymore.
Yeah, come on. That's the truth, Larry. I experience it every day.
So you know what? I will go with that. If this generation still exists, they are very old and they won't stay for much longer.
Yeah, I agree with that. Everybody
If
is right.
this generation still exists, they won't be here for much longer.
Yeah, that's me. I'm from the Archie Bunker generation. I'm a senior citizen. I'm a baby boomer.
So,
me too.
So what are you saying? That
So,
you
what's
will...
funny? You know what happens when I see a black person?
What?
I see a black person. I go.
What need to happen?
I go. This is what I think about you immediately. I go, huh? No different.
Yeah, well, I'm not racist. I don't believe I'm racist, but I am afraid to live around black people because of the violence.
Ooh, can you stay for the next show?
Yeah, I know. That was kind of a weird. It was a really weird thing. Now you're saying that black people are violent.
No, but he talk about neighborhood. He just pronounced it very
right, exactly.
badly.
That's what he said. He said he was. So you got to stop equating neighborhoods to black people.
You're
You
correct.
have to start equating neighborhoods to bad people, because there are white people that live in neighborhoods that are bad. I mean, we have this. Listen,
Don't you
unfortunately,
have FBI statistics? FBI statistics.
Listen, Jack. Jack,
No.
my apologies. You called in late. You want to call back and call the other show? You can, because we're going to be on another show in a minute. But I got to let you go because I got to say goodbye to everybody.
You can stay
But
on the
I appreciate
line.
you calling. I appreciate everybody for listening. I'm excited that Stacey Garrity called in, and I'm going to plug her website, GarrityForPA.com. GarrityForPA.com. Support her so we can finally get a normal human being in the state of Pennsylvania as governor.
Correct.
And I want to thank Omri for being here. Of course, Dr. Deb is out. I want to thank the
Sweet!
Glenn Page for actually taking the call from Stacey. That was awesome. And we'll see you guys on Thursday night, investorschooling.com.
Yes.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on
You're clear?
Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions
Tell
of
us if the guys
WPHT
stay on the
or
line.
Odyssey.
I disconnected it. He'll have
Okay.
to call
Yeah, I
back.
told him to call him back. Better to call him back.
If you really want to talk to that guy.
No, it might be fun.
WPHT, WPHT, WOGL,
Might be fun to call him
HD3,
out.
Philadelphia. From the
I wanna see
Piazza
what else he will
Studios,
say.
Experience the Power One with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Tune in tonight starting at 7 p.m. for the Bob Pantano Saturday Night Dance Party. Live from Adelphia in Deptford, the Bob Pantano Saturday Night Dance Party is broadcast exclusively on 98.1 HD2 and Bob Pantano Dance Party.
There's a little thing we learned in our logic classes. Correlation is not causation, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I would have said to him.
Well said. You could have said it. You could come in any time.
I know I could. I know I could have.
You know?
Like Daily Prize Matcher on Bet365. I play for free and win real rewards, like up to $5,000 in cash weekly. Unlike that joker in denim.
We got the Omri music going here.
Really?
Gambling
Omri phone number music going.
must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply.
You matter, and so does your well-being. Call, text, or chat 988, New Jersey Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for free 24/7 support with mental health, suicide, or substance use concerns.
Yeah, that's a little, well, they're kind of skirting the edge there.
Really? That's kind of
carpal tunnel syndrome.
So I've been told you can't say the word suicide or suicidal or all those words are not, we're not allowed to say them on the radio.
Cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects.
15 seconds.
All right.
Information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra.
I'm not racist, but I won't live near black people.
I know.
Grammar solely those of investors. Opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3. Some premium automobile studios powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live.
You're hot.
Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right.
All right, let's get into it. All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show, where we stop guessing about money and start actually figuring it out. I'm Larry Steinhouse. I'm coming to you live from Investor Schooling headquarters, and today we're missing one key ingredient. We're missing Dr. Deb. Oh, she's away at a conference. So the voice of reason is temporarily off-site, which means it could go one of two ways.
No, it can go only one way.
It can only go one way?
It will be berserk.
It will be bizarre, yeah. Okay. Luckily, Omri Morad is here to make it bizarre.
Bizarre.
All right. We got energy, we got opinions, and we got just enough chaos to keep things interesting. Today we're talking about stock options, real estate investing, interest rates, and what's really going on in the economy right now. Not the watered-down version, not the headlines, the real stuff that impacts your money. And we're broadcasting live from Investor Schooling, where people don't just listen, they learn how to actually invest. If you want in, go to
investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
And you can RSVP for a free class this Thursday night. And of course, I want to thank you. I want a big thanks to the Sultan Income Fund. Invest with the Sultan, collect like a king. And of course, as you know, the fund is designed for income-focused investors targeting a preferred return in the 36 to 48%. But we're not allowed to say that anymore. We're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say that.
And you keep saying that.
No, we're not allowed to say it. 'Cause what happens is, I'm just telling people we're not allowed to say the returns anymore because the attorney says we're not allowed to say the returns.
Yeah, we can.
So returns so high that the attorney says we're not allowed to tell you what they are.
Exactly. If you want, we can. We are very proud to tell you what our personal returns are.
Yeah, that's true.
We are very
Right.
proud.
It's true. Exactly.
And we'll keep doing it until you will
the cool
join.
part is we teach exactly what we do in the fund.
Exactly.
It's really cool. But I have to carry on the disclaimers because if I don't,
Sure.
I get myself in trouble. So, of course, all investments carry risk. Returns are not guaranteed, and any opportunity is available only through a official offering document such as a PPM, a private placement memorandum. And by the way, if you want to find out more about this, you can actually send a text message to 26786. That's 26786. Send the word Sultan, SULTAN, to 26786, and you can find out more about the Sultan Income Fund. Of course, it's for accredited investors only, and whatever. Did I miss everything? No
I don't know.
Past performance, no guarantee if you whatever. Right?
Correct, yeah.
Also want to thank the Joe Keller team at Cross Country Mortgage, the only person I trust to get me a mortgage, especially for large and complex deals over $2 million. Call Joe directly at 215-817-9084. And I was telling you last time that people came up to me and said, "Hey, can Joe get me a mortgage for $300,000?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I can get you a mortgage for $300,000." And I said, "And you have to understand that mortgages over $2 million are really difficult. So if he could do a difficult mortgage over $2 million, he could certainly do a mortgage for $300,000.
Yeah.
So call Joe directly at 215-817-9084. And remember, you can call in at
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
All right, if it has anything to do with money, real estate investing, or a decision you're not sure about costs, we'll talk you through it.
Whatever you want, just call. It's so much more fun.
And if you're a political candidate, feel free to call me
Yeah,
anytime,
exactly. Call us with whatever you want. Whatever you want. I mean, you don't have to talk to us about money. Maybe you don't want to make 6 to 8% every month. Who cares? Just call and talk to us. We're bored. This is Saturday afternoon. We are on the radio.
I know. Just think about that. We give up our Saturday afternoon. I have my beautiful pool in my house.
Yes, I'm leaving the synagogue early for you every Saturday.
I know, and I appreciate that a lot.
Yes.
By the way. God might not, but I appreciate it.
I hope he does.
God appreciates what you're doing for your friends.
Okay.
All right, that's cool. And and God appreciates us being friends.
Yes, I agree.
Even the rabbi loves our friendship.
I agree.
Cool.
I agree.
But so I have my beautiful pool, and I come here on Saturday to do this show just for what? Just to help other people
and to make fun.
And of course we have some fun. Of course, it's a lot of fun. I mean, what a cool life we have, right? This is our life. Our life is just have fun. We have fun helping people. We have fun doing the radio show. I don't know. We just have fun.
We wake up every morning and we are very proud and happy with what we do. Think about that.
I have to tell you something. I'm writing another book.
Don't tell me it's your life story.
No, it's not. It's actually the book is actually called Selfishly Generous.
Okay.
Right, and it's interesting because I didn't want to write this book. I had no intention of writing this book, is what I really should say.
Okay.
So it's all about how I've talked to people and trained people to help other people.
Okay.
Like to help people with like what I do on in Christmas on Facebook, right? I
Correct.
post on Facebook. I say, hey, listen,
the cards.
If you know somebody who's really down in their luck and they need some money to make their Christmas better,
Yeah.
I'll send them a $500 gift card anonymously.
Yeah.
And I have them tell the story. I give out 3 of them, so it's $500 each. I give out $1,500, and I get these stories. And usually I get about a dozen to 15 stories. And I pick the best 3, the 3 stories that I think really would change your life, and really be a big
to make the impact.
Right?
Yeah, I got you.
So I have to tell you a funny story. Do you know where that came from?
The
The
idea?
concept came from?
No.
So the concept came from. You probably don't remember this because you I don't know if you watched this show when you were younger, but there was a show called The Jeffersons. It was a show about a black couple and moving on up, and I don't know if you guys.
I don't think I saw it.
I
No.
don't know if you guys online remember this story, but it was all about this black couple who used to live next to Archie Bunker, All in the Family. I don't know if you ever watched All in the Family because you were in Israel at the time, so it's a little bit different. But the reruns were on when I was a kid, and so then All in the Family, they do a spin-off of The Jeffersons, and there's an episode in The Jeffersons where George Jefferson Wheezy was his wife. Louise was his wife. He called her Wheezy, and his wife was concerned that he was cheating on her because he was visiting this house and he was putting stuff on the credit card or something, right? And it turned out in the end that he was every year
donation.
Every year he would go to this house, the same house that it was an apartment complex, in the same apartment, he would drop off Christmas presents from Santa. And when she questioned him about why he did it, the answer was because he used to live there, and he wanted to make sure that and he used to have terrible Christmas there because his family had no money, as the story goes. His family had no money, and he wanted to make sure that this apartment, this house, always had a great Christmas. So that's what it was about. So it's kind of like the story is almost the same. It's like, I hear about people who have, they're having a tough time. They can't afford to pay their bills, whatever. Maybe there's somebody sick, because we had a couple people where, they were really sick. And they couldn't do something for Christmas, so I would do that. So anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is because this was about the book that I'm writing called Selflessly Generous. So why do I do it? I do it, and honestly, I do it because I'm completely selfish. I do it because I really like to feel good about helping people. So when somebody approached me to write this book, so it was actually a book publisher, somebody who publishes books, and she writes stories about people. And she approached me to write this book. I'm like, I'm not writing that book. Because she heard about some of the stories I did. I was like, I'm not writing that book. It sounds too self-serving. She goes, no, it's not self-serving. What it really is it teaches other people to do what you're doing. And then when she convinced me that, I was like, okay, let's write it. So it's about half written, and it'll probably come out in about 2 months.
You sit and write?
Well, so in this case, yes and no. All right, so because it was difficult for me to write this one, because it was, because I still feel like like I'm bragging. I don't want it to sound like I'm bragging. I get on calls with her and I tell her the stories and she writes them. Okay. And the only reason I do that is because I just don't want to write it myself, because when I write it myself, I don't want it to sound like I'm bragging. I want it to sound like so technically the book is what they call ghostwritten, right? But it's really I mean, it's in my voice. The stories are my stories, but she's making sure that I don't leave anything out, because I would feel like I said, it's just a weird thing, because it's a selfish thing to me. It's something for me, but then I realize that if I'm going to help other people do it too, then I'm helping more people to help more people. So and helping more people to help more people to help more people to help more people to help more people is fantastic.
It's a generation journey, and I will tell you why. In Friends, which is a show I grew up in and I liked very much, there was an episode that I think Phoebe is challenging Joey, and she said there are no selfless good deeds. Selfless good deed.
Right. Everything is selfish, right?
Everything
right,
you do, you do because it makes you feel good.
Correct.
And Joey tried to prove it again and again. I'm sorry, I think Joey is saying that to her, and she said no chance. And then she reached the point, she said, I let the bee sting me because now she looked brave, or he looked brave in front of the bee friends. And he said, yeah, but the bee died when he stinged you. So it's part of the story. Yeah. Everything have consequences that affect both sides. There is no something that you can do that doesn't affect you at all, or why would you do it?
That's exactly right.
something need to make you do it.
Right. Everything you do for selfish reasons. And I've been saying this for years, and because I said that, and I started talking about that.
Because of the word, it's
right.
not selfish. It's not selfish.
It is
It's
selfish.
no, because it's something need to motivate you. It doesn't mean you're selfish.
Well, no. As soon as something's motivating you to do something, that is a selfish motive.
I have problem with that. If you want to join us and tell us what do you think about that, please call us 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. I don't think so, because if you're correct, we will do only things, we will be robots.
No, we're not robots at all.
So
it's just the opposite. We're very emotional people.
Exactly.
So because we're very emotional people, our emotions are driven by our selfishness.
Okay.
Right. So pick an example of anything you did this week that you did for someone else. Even as simple as doing the laundry for your wife. I mean, I'm assuming you did that, but something like that.
Yeah, I do the laundry in the house, but I like it. I don't know why I like to do the laundry in the house.
Okay, if you like
again, it's because there is motivation.
Right?
I like the laundry the way I make it.
Right.
So maybe that's why I do it. I know I do a lot of things for other people every day.
No, you're a fantastic friend that way.
So I'm trying. I know, but it make me feel good about myself. Yeah, it could be.
Of course.
But it doesn't.
That's fine. It's fulfilling something in you, which is fantastic. But it
doesn't make me selfish.
No, of course it is. It makes you completely selfish.
So I think the word is the problem.
No, right. And here's the reason: because
selfish is bad.
Right, because people think selfish is a bad word. It's not a bad word. In fact, it's an exact description of everything you do in your life is selfish.
No, so Larry, I go with what you say. The word is around you. If the world is around you, everything you do has an impact on you, on your life.
Correct.
It doesn't make you selfish.
It does make you selfish. Because you're getting something out of everything you do.
Correct.
Right? Now, it's funny because like you may have like let's say somebody's having an argument with their wife, right? And their wife says, "You never clean up after yourself." Right?
Yeah.
Right? There's crumbs on the counter, right? So the next morning you get up and what do?
You make her happy.
You clean the crumbs, right?
Correct.
Right. So what are you doing? Who is that for?
Okay, you did it for your wife. Yeah.
No, you didn't do it for your wife.
You try to make her feel good.
Yeah, maybe.
By doing that, you show her that you care, no?
Right. But even better, because you don't want to hear your wife say, "You don't clean up after yourself anymore." You don't clean up after yourself. You just don't want to hear it anymore, right?
Yeah.
So that's a selfish motive. The selfish motive is you just don't want to hear your wife yelling at about it anymore.
So to me,
you could say you're doing it for your wife happy.
No.
Make your wife happy. You bring your wife flowers, right?
No, but to me, the selfish way would be, listen, those crumbs, they're not my trouble. Because they don't bother me.
Okay, but so
that's selfish.
They're both selfish. Okay, because if you explain to them, "Hey, I'm not cleaning those crumbs because I don't want to," it's because you're selfish, right?
That's selfish,
right.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning those crumbs because I don't want to have an argument with my wife about it anymore. Is selfish.
No. What is it to you? Have a happy wife? What do you get from that?
Whatever you get from me, you're not arguing, whatever it might be. So why do I have investor schooling? Even keep it. I mean, I make so much money. I don't need investor schooling.
Correct.
I don't need to ever go to work again, right?
Correct.
I mean, I have enough money
we ask ourselves this question every day.
Right, but why do I do it?
So I don't ask myself this question anymore because I see your interaction with the people, and I see your chest grown when people come to you with success story.
Right.
And I see exactly how it affects you.
Right.
So I understand that correct.
So
I understand that correct.
Right? So I have investor schooling because I'm selfish.
Yeah.
Right. And
but it has good effect.
No. See, you keep thinking that there's selfish good and selfish bad. There's just selfish.
Okay.
There's no such thing as good and bad selfish. There's just selfish.
Yeah, you do it for yourself.
Right. I do it for myself. I do it because I
You're
rise,
pushing the definition of the word, though, beyond its normal connotations.
Correct.
No,
I mean,
the connotation is the problem. The word itself is correct.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's semantics. It's
But
just,
that's Larry. Because
Yeah, this is
the
semantics.
normal human
I mean-
being, that's how they look at selfish, and
Wait,
that's
hold
how you present it. That's exactly what it is. And now he will tell us what selfish actually means.
Selfishness definition. Selfish is the placing one's own needs, interests, or welfare above those of others, often characterized by a lack of consideration for other people's feelings or needs.
Above others.
a lack of consideration. For
So-
other people's-
Often
But-
characterized by a lack of consideration
No.
for other people's feelings or needs.
But I'm going with the first sentence. You said
It
above
involves-
others.
Wait, it involves a focus on personal advantage and can be marked by greed. It can be marked by greed, or in some cases, a necessary act of
Exactly.
I get it.
We're
But
trying.
in
Wow, I
everyday
can't say the word.
use, there's
Prioritizing self-care, but that's exactly what I'm saying, right? So it's interesting because the definition itself is exactly what I'm saying, right? The placing of one's own needs, interests, or welfare above those of others. Stop. Right now, it says
Strictly
often
speaking,
characterized. I said that's the problem. The word is characterized. It should not be characterized by a lack of consideration for other people's feelings or needs. So yes, I don't care what other people think if I'm helping them. I'm very happy to help them. If they don't like my help, they can go. I can't. I don't have my.
No,
papers, so I
no,
can't
no.
use my-
Mr.
well,
Stein.
you've got Nancy in Philly who wants to chime in on this subject.
All right, cool. Let's get Nancy. What's up, Nancy?
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, how are you?
What do you think, Nancy? What do you think of this argument?
Listen, guys, I'm a silly lawyer, and I'm a word person. You're using the wrong words, okay? Many people do things for selfish reasons where there's something in it for them, even if they do something charitable because it makes them feel good.
That's right.
But other people, well, hold on. Other people do things for their own reasons. It may not be selfish, and I'm going to give you an example.
But isn't that the
okay?
same thing? If you're doing it
I
for your
do
own reason, you
volunteer
are
work.
selfish.
No, I said no, and here's why. Because I've done numerous things in my lifetime, not as a lawyer, not part of my career, on behalf of my community and on behalf of other people who are being harmed in ways that I myself have been harmed. And I made a promise. If I see other people being harmed the way I was harmed, I will do everything I can to fight against it. I make no money. I get no glory. It costs me money.
Glory and money have nothing to do with this. Glory and money have nothing to do
No,
with
I
this.
think that's not the question.
Nancy, your voice, when you started to talk about this, right, you're very excited and you're very happy that you're helping these people. And by the way, I am too. I'm very excited and happy that you're helping these people too. But you're doing it because you said you don't want anybody else to have that same life or that same problem, right? That's selfish.
Here's the difference, Larry, okay? You spoke about something, to do something to make your wife happy because she'd be upset. You owe a duty to your spouse. I owe no duty to strangers, okay? And I don't get any thanks. I don't get anything. I do things for my own reasons, not for selfishness. The wrong word in my situation, you would call it selfish, but it's not.
So what word would you substitute for selfishness?
For selfless reasons.
Selfless reasons, right?
Selfless.
Right. So it's funny you say that because
that's what I told you from friends.
I've had this argument, right? Selfless is not the truth because it's not true that you didn't do it. You didn't do it as a robot, which is what Omri said earlier. You didn't do it as a robot. You did it because you feel good about it, because you want to protect someone else. No. That's a selfish reason. That's an internal reason.
You're pushing words beyond the limits of their meaning, Larry.
Good. I'm sorry, Nancy.
Physically, emotionally, and financially by doing these things.
No, I don't want to. I have not. Most of the things I do. Most of the things I do are not because of that. I mean, I help people all the time. Absolutely no gain, and I'm never expecting a gain.
It's one thing not to expect a gain. It's another thing to actually be harmed. Okay, I get harmed. I'll give you an example if you would like. Would you?
Yes, please.
Here's an example. Okay, back in the day, SEPTA, the septic system in Philly, was going to be doing a 2-year rail works project on the Chestnut Hill West train line. where they were going to be replacing every overhead wire, every catenary that holds up the wires, all the ties, that the rails sit on, and all the rails. And they decided doing this work between midnight and 6 in the morning every day for 2 years. Everybody I know who lived along the Chestnut Hill West line, from Chestnut Hill all the way into North Philly, couldn't sleep at night at all.
I
Okay?
bet. Yeah, I bet.
Now, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a litigator. I'm not go to court. I'm an in-house lawyer for a company. And I took it upon myself to take on a fight with SEPTA. Can I just tell you? I get told all the time, Nancy, you can't fight City Hall. Guess what? I fought that fight with SEPTA.
That's fantastic.
Multiple trips down. And I won that fight on behalf of other people.
Of course.
Okay? It caused me great harm. My great expense, I couldn't keep up with my personal responsibilities as a single mom, but I did it anyway, because if I didn't do it, someone had to. Who was going to do it? Now, that is not selfish. That's
no, but
selfless.
the argument is it made you feel good, which is great.
No, the argument is she felt good helping people, and she wanted to help people.
Good. It did not make me feel good.
Of
okay?
course.
You hear people say they join the military because if someone won't protect the country, who will? No, I didn't do what I did because it made me feel good. It was a dirty job. Someone had to do it, and I said, I'll do it. I was a community organizer. I went to every house along the way of that train line and got 1,000 signatures from every person who lived along that train line. That was not fun. Let me guarantee you. No, it wasn't that it made me feel good.
I'm not saying you
needed help because I could.
So you said you didn't do it because it to feel good, but you must agree that at the end it made you feel good because of the accomplishment.
But you guys are just basically saying because everything you do is what you ultimately want to do, that somehow makes it selfish or self-oriented because I'm doing it because I want to do it ultimately, and it's preserving my ego or something or my integrity. That's just pushing the word selfish beyond a boundary where it even makes sense. The word doesn't mean that in normal parlance.
You're enjoying that.
That's not what it means. I understand the point you guys are making, but that's not the way the word is used.
I didn't do it.
And the connotations are
I
valid.
didn't do it because I wanted to. I didn't do it because I wanted to. I did it because I had to.
Well, you had to do it because you wanted to.
Right.
You wouldn't have done it if you didn't want to. You had to want to.
I didn't want to. Nobody would. Nobody else would, and I'm Mr. Fix-It.
I get that.
Okay?
I get that. That I get. Right, absolutely. I mean, I run a charity. It's Lev 27. You probably heard it on the radio. I run a charity to help people stay in their homes. So like, if somebody's being evicted, we help, we step in and we pay the,
and that's one.
Right.
Yeah.
But and I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, it's incredible, and it's in your definition, it's selfless, but it's a pain to run this charity. It's a pain to be a chairman of a charity. It's a pain to try to do fundraisers. Go ahead.
No, you chose to do that. You chose to do that. And I started my own charity, okay, because I'm a breast cancer survivor. I started my own charity when I was working more than full-time as a lawyer and raising my daughter as a single mom. And I did that because I chose to, because I cared about the cause of breast cancer.
That's right.
What I did in my neighborhood, I did because nobody else stood up to do it. And I had a choice. And there's an expression in my religion, and it says this: in a land where there's no men, be a man. That's me.
She gave the best example. You know what the best example is? I'm not going to relate to the last comment, but I will tell you that the army is the best example. When people go to the army and they ask them, why do you go to the army? And they say, because nobody else is. Somebody must do it.
Then when you volunteer.
I would go with this is a selfish. This is the the only thing that is not selfish.
It's the same thing.
Don't know. No, it is not. You guys don't know how many times. You guys do not know how many times in my lifetime I'm old, okay? I've been told there's a big problem. Nobody else will address it. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to fix it. And guess what? I have been told by many, you don't think that Gambaccini at the time, who was the head of SEPTA, and his whole staff, okay, and all the boards of directors, you don't think they were an easy group of people to convince, do you?
No, of course not.
I've been told by many people multiple times, you cannot fight City Hall. And yes, it is an accomplishment I do give myself credit for, that if I say I'm going to take on a horrible battle because no one else will, And if I win it against City Hall, which I've done 5 times in my life, guess what? I will win the fight against City Hall. City Hall people have told me you'll never win that battle on behalf of other vulnerable people. You'll never win it. And I do every time at tremendous expense to myself, because in a land where there are no men, be a man. This is why I do it.
Well, I think you're wonderful, by the way, just listening to you. Whether we agree on the word or not, I think you're wonderful.
You ever have a big problem and you need it fixed and nobody can do it for you? By the way, I'm also a certified mediator, which doesn't hurt my abilities, okay?
Okay.
You ever need a big problem fixed, nobody can fix it? Call me, Mrs. Fix It.
Well, you know what? You should leave your. You should either number one. You should definitely reach out to us. Come and see us. But if not, leave your number with Glenn, and I'll send you a text message from my private cell phone, so you and I can keep in touch, because you're awesome.
Do it, because I can't come in person. I'm physically disabled right now from cancer. Okay. I cannot do it. I got you. Come in person.
What can we do to help?
We wish you the best.
I can accomplish a lot, even if I don't show up in person at places today. You know that. You don't have to be anywhere in person today.
Yeah, you can go on Zoom. But what can we do to help you with your situation?
Well, what I really need is, it was my birthday in April 13th. And what I asked everybody to give me for my birthday, please give me 2 new legs and feet.
You look at things in a very in a very bright way, and it's awesome.
So I tell you what,
laughter is my best medicine.
Yeah. There is no doubt. I hear it. Yeah.
You're breaking up now. But do me a favor. Leave your address also with Glenn. All right.
Shall do. Thank you.
Of course, and we're very happy that you called today.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad you called. And I will selfishly become your friend. Did that make sense?
It does. In your own mind, it does.
All right, let's go. We got a couple of people waiting actually online. We got Michael in South Carolina. What's going on, Michael?
Hey guys, love your show always, but I just wanted to chime in and say I think Nancy was talking about words, and I think the word that I haven't heard yet is altruistic.
Altruistic,
and, yes. How about Elon Musk? President Biden left those 2 astronauts in the space station for almost a whole year, and he sent up an automated capsule to go pick them up because nobody else would lift a finger.
Yep.
Talk about altruistic.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah, I love
By
that.
the way, I
just
heard how much he paid in taxes. $1 billion. $1 billion.
No,
you know that some people.
That's not true, because you're not a Democrat, because $1 billion is equals 0.
Oh, okay. No, I'm more of a Republican. I'm actually independent.
I'm kidding.
But
what I'm saying is, Democrats would say that he didn't pay any taxes.
Oh no, I didn't say he didn't pay any taxes.
No, but
I said he paid $1 billion.
Let's go with.
I'm being sarcastic, because the Democrats say, if he would pay taxes, it would solve the world's problems.
But let's go with your example for a second. Right. Let's go with your example just for a second. You just said something. How much of what Elon Musk did was only good deed, and how much was for publicity, according to your belief?
Well, I mean, seriously, okay, let me, sending a SpaceX up to pick up those astronauts, to me, just blows my mind. But anyhow, I used to fit hearing aids as a business, and I had my own business. I sometimes gave away hearing aids. And, you've got to take impression. That impression material is very expensive. It's silicone.
Sure.
And all kinds of other stuff, office time and everything. But you know what? I knew that it was going to make a difference in their family, because now they could hear their spouse. Now they could hear their children. Now they could, some of them, go to work. I had one guy say nobody wanted to talk to him anymore. and his boss came over after I fit him with hearing aids because he lived in a hotel room patching potholes. And his boss came over and shook his hand. Finally, you did something.
There you go. Hey,
thank you.
So, Michael, I got to ask you a question, just because we're on this topic, right?
Sure.
Did you feel good doing this?
I felt it was my duty as a Christian.
Beautiful.
Can I say it that way?
So was it selfish or was it selfless?
I would say selfless because, sometimes I don't think they appreciated what I did for them.
Right.
And sometimes I would think about that and I'd say, why did I just do that? That was a lot of money.
Right, of course.
All things considered, because I ran a business.
You did it because it felt good. That's selfish. All right, let me do this. I got to go to the next caller, but I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you listening. You're awesome. And keep up the good work, man. All right, I'm going to go to Todd in Ohio. What's going on, Todd?
What's up? How are you gentlemen doing? It's always good to see you or hear you.
Thank you.
So what do you think about my definition of selfishness?
I have a question because you had a gentleman on there before who said he didn't like to live around black folks. And to be honest,
that guy, that was from the first show. Yeah, from Jack from the first show. Yeah.
No. But if you start that, you must tell us if you are black.
I am black.
Thank you.
You know me because you've met me several times.
I actually know who it is. It's Todd from Ohio. I actually know who he is.
Now let's
you want everybody else to know, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait. You couldn't tell by his voice he was black?
Why would they tell by voice?
I know. I'm kidding. I'm done
with that.
This is the stuff that prejudiced people say, right? So I'm sorry. I just have to do it because it annoys me that 2026 there's still
that it's needed. Why do we need it? Why do we need it? Why we need to hold it?
Right, exactly. So anyway, go ahead. So Todd, you're referring to the last show where Jack called in and Jack said that he didn't want to listen. He didn't want to live in an area where there's black people because there's too much crime. Right? Is it something like that? Paraphrasing what he said. Right. Go ahead.
Right. Now the problem I have is he just illustrated something that I deal with is when they see me, then they're like, oh, because a lot of people say, well, you speak well, and they don't necessarily know I'm black until they see me. And then it's funny when they see me, then it's like, oh, then you see the look on their face and it's like, okay. And the problem with that is now we're dealing more on an economic level because it's either based upon a job or some other thing that has to deal with money. And now we have a problem. Okay. So it was just interesting. That gentleman illustrated something that, we deal with. And I just thought it was funny when you said you'd like to be black because of the tan or what, I don't know, whatever you said. It was funny. So I took it as a joke.
Wait, I'm trying to remember what I said.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember what I said. But yeah.
No, I thought you said in the previous show that you said something about wanting to be black because of the tan or something like that.
I said I want to. So he was like, so Jack says, would you rather be white or would you rather be black? I'm like, well, first of all, it was a stupid question. First of all, right? But
exactly.
But the answer, my answer was no. I want to be somewhere in the middle. I want to be a very dark skinned or white and black, however I answered, right? Because I look at it and go, those are the best looking people. That's why I said it.
You guys are hilarious. I love you guys.
Thanks, man. You're awesome too, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we need to go.
All right, have a great.
All right, thanks, Todd. We need to go to commercial. We'll see you on the other side.
Yes.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor School.
You are clear.
Buy real estate with absolutely no money out of your pocket.
It's a great show
That's
today.
Right.
It's a great show.
If you read my book, Money Hacks,
every time we talk about those subjects, people are calling.
Absolutely no money.
It's like people don't want to talk about money. They want to talk
about exactly, especially on a Saturday.
And learn more.
I'm sorry I spoke over Nancy there for a moment, Larry.
No, that's all right.
Add closings and learn how to make a monthly income. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary.
All right, hang on one second.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that you can leverage the stock market with a little bit of money to make a lot of money? That's right. We have something that we teach called stock options, and you can make a lot of money with a little bit of money using stock options. Yep, you got to learn how to do it. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn how to do it. Take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I'm going to teach you that and more. Investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. We'll see you there. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Listen, you need to take a complimentary class this Thursday. You need to learn how to invest in real estate. You need to learn how to invest in the stock market. You need to learn how to invest in stock options. And you need to learn how to make more money than you've ever made before. Why aren't you here? Come to investorschooling.com, take a complimentary class this Thursday, and learn. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class this Thursday. We'll see you there. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that there are a lot of altruistic reasons that you should become a real estate investor? That's right. You get to rent houses to really nice people who need houses. And you know what? When there's a housing shortage and you have a house for them, they are so happy. I've actually gotten hugs from tenants. So come to investorschooling.com and you will learn how to be a landlord the right way. That's right. We have a complimentary class this Thursday night. And this way you can get hugs from your tenants too. Go to investorschooling.com. We'll see you Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Hi, this is Larry Steinhouse, and I want to tell you about a charity we formed called Lev 27. Lev 27 is a charity that helps people stay in their homes. Look, sometimes life happens. Many people live paycheck to paycheck, and if suddenly something happens and they can't afford to pay their rent, we will step in and help them. We'll even cover any legal fees to keep them in their home. Go to lev27.org, that's lev27.org, to find out how you can help or make a donation. Thank you. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go?
Okay, I've got all of Nancy's info.
All right, thanks. Yeah, just send it to
I haven't
me.
signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn...
All right, you ready to come back?
Sure.
It's about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right.
And your usual, same out time.
Schooling.com and take that.
Same out time.
See you there.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with Omri Morad, and we're having an interesting day today. This is a very interesting two shows, right?
I love what, yeah.
We had Stacey Garrity call the first show. That was kind of wild. Then we were talking about this whole conversation about selfishness, and I'm telling everybody how selfish I am because I believe in helping people. And people found that very interesting that they think that's selflessness, and I say it's selfishness. And the funny part was you were telling me that there was a Friends episode. I'm not a Friends fan. You're a Friends fan.
Mm-hmm.
That Joey and Phoebe?
Yeah, they argue about
the
it.
same exact argument that we're arguing today.
You need to see this episode. It's a good one.
You have to send me that episode because it's hysterical.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you that I do everything because I'm selfish.
Yeah.
I'm selfish.
Okay.
And I help people all the time because I'm selfish.
Yeah.
And I say because it makes me feel good. Now, look, I do understand that I'm helping people to make them feel good or to help them, and I absolutely believe that I'm helping everyone that I help, but I'm doing it for, and somebody's used the word altruistic, right? I'm doing it for altruistic reasons, and I call that selfishness. So it's just interesting that it's very, very interesting that once you accept it, if you accept the word selfish in here, you understand what your motivation is. That's all I'm looking at. That's all I'm using the word for.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so let's talk about money, man.
Let's talk about money.
Because we haven't talked about money in a while.
No, exactly.
I know. We're
but I want to tell you. I want to tell you one
and
thing.
We don't talk about money.
I want to tell you one thing, just to end this subject.
Sure.
Everybody assumes that as a capitalist country, it's harder and people are too much focused on themselves and all that. Based on what you say, even though you're very happy to present it in a way that trigger people, and based on the last two callers we had, I think it showed the opposite. It showed that in a capitalist country, not everybody only care about themselves. There's so many people.
It's not true. They don't. They only care. They care about everybody.
Exactly. The fact that they make money, the fact that they succeed, cause them something that make them care about more and do for others.
So I'm going
to
that's
take that, amazing.
I'm going to take that step back. So it's actually not true. All right. So people think that people who have money are greedy and using the term the way other people
No.
Let me finish, right? They said they're greedy and selfish, right? So it's funny that I'm using that term now with a different definition, right? But listen to this, right? The reality is that whether people have money or don't have money, they can be generous or not generous.
You go to politics right now that we have the Democrat Party that like to make everybody hate the rich people because they have so much and they don't give it to anybody
and the
else.
Democrats are all rich.
Exactly.
The people like Shapiro. We just talked about Shapiro a little while
Yeah.
ago. $1.1 million on a security system that
So
doesn't need.
We need to talk about that, right? If somebody have, it doesn't mean they have to give.
That's right.
It doesn't mean they have
That's
to
right.
give. They are not. Nobody is entitled to somebody because somebody else has so much more than them.
Correct.
Full stop. And yet we hear the stories. We hear what was going on here. We hear the callers. For some reason, unlike in social countries that we count on the system to support us, in this country, in a capitalist country, it seems like the people maybe are more support for their friends, for their neighbors than the system itself. So it's pretty amazing.
So I'm going to try to help you with this one. So
yeah, please. Exactly, please.
Right? So what happens is if you're generous, if you're happy, if you're a happy person, if you're a generous person, when you have money, you're just going to be more generous. That's all. If you're because you have more money to be more generous with, right?
It's not a global rule. We have people with money that
greedy,
are
if you're greedy and you don't want to when you have more money, you're going to be more greedy. It's kind of a weird thing. You're actually going to help people less. So that's what's going on. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with money amplifies who you are. If you're a generous person, it'll amplify. It's like alcohol, right?
So
you hear like a happy drunk.
Yeah.
Right? A happy person is a happy, and I hate using this one because it makes people think that you should drink. No, you shouldn't drink.
No, you shouldn't drink.
But if you're a happy person and you drink, you're a happier drunk, right? You're just a happier person when you're drunk. That's all. It's just weird. It's a weird thing. If you're a miserable person and you drink, you're more miserable when you drink. It's the same thing with money. If you're a miserable person when you have money, you're going to be more miserable when you have money. I'm sorry, you're a miserable person when you don't have money, you're going to be more miserable when you have money. And if you're a generous person, you're going to be more generous if you have more money.
So let's talk about it just for a second, okay? Do you believe it's related to how people got their money? Do you think there is a difference in generosity between people that inherit big money to people that...
I think how they handle the money is really the difference. Not necessarily how generous they're going to be, but how they handle the money. So they just may be really bad with money, and using generosity is one way to prove they're bad with money. So in other words, they give away too much, right?
I see the opposite. I understand. You look at the Bezos case, and you look at over generosity, maybe.
No, I'm just looking at people who fall into money.
Exactly.
A lot of people
they are less generous many times.
No, well, the statistics show that the people who fall into money, like lottery winners, or get big inheritances, they quickly go broke.
Correct, but
not 2 years.
Not because they give everything to charity, because they spend.
Because they can't handle the money.
Correct, they spend.
Believe me, they give a lot to charity, and they probably give too much to charity because they feel
okay.
They don't know how to handle the money, right? So, like, I give a lot of charity. I mean, I give a lot of charities. It's just getting to the point. I don't even give to charities. I usually give to people who need it, because that's
personally,
the way I feel about it. I don't want some charity like I don't know, whatever the charity might be, whatever a big charity might be. I don't want to hand them money. I just don't believe in that, right? But if this charity, like, I'll give you a great example. Was a few years ago. There's a place called Visitation Home, I think it's called, for autistic adults.
Okay.
So the problem with autistic adults is they can't live by themselves. They have to live with their parents or a guardian, right? And the guardians, I mean, their life is miserable because they have to be with this person 24 hours a day. So there was this place called Visitation Home. By the way, I think it's still around if you guys want to donate to it. A place called Visitation Home, and they have 3 houses that they own, and in the morning they can send their autistic child, who's an adult now, to here, and they have activities for them. They have other things for them. They have all these different things, and they can have some freedom. The people, the adults can have some freedom. I'm sorry, not the adults. The parents can have some freedom during the day. So this house, we went to a charity event one time, and they were talking about how they needed to raise money to get new stoves and new microwaves because the stoves and microwaves were very old. So I spoke to the director, and I said, listen, what are the sizes of the stoves and the microwaves? So I got the sizes. I called Best Buy, and I ordered the 3 microwaves and 3 stoves, and I had them sent over there.
Awesome.
See, to me, that was better than giving them money.
Of course.
Because now they can use the money, whatever they got, for whatever they use, and now they have the stoves and they have the microwaves done. It's done. It's finished. It's all done. So that's the way I do it.
So, I will tell you a story because my wife do the same thing. And we went to Philly one day, and she offered a homeless guy to buy him food, to buy him lunch, to buy him food.
Sure.
And they went into a 7-Eleven, and what do you want? You want a sandwich? You want that?
Right.
And the guy took a sandwich, and then he took another bar, and another something, and then he went and he took a drink, and all that. And she left the 7-Eleven in a $75 bill.
Fine.
And it was more, I believe, like a proof to show to Rome. We were with Rome about
okay.
It doesn't matter, but it's part of that.
Right.
And there was a conflict there about the fact that you do a good thing to the fact that you support greed or something, because it was very.
See, you don't have to. So greed, there's no such thing as greed.
It was very unique.
But the problem is, if you're greedy, you're greedy, right? If you don't want to help people, you don't want to help people. You want to help people, you want to help people.
Yeah.
One of the things that I talk to people all the time, they're like, I want to help 1 million people. Well, what do you want to help 1 million people with? Well, I want to help make sure that I feed 1 million people. I said, why don't you start with feeding one?
Yeah.
Find one person who needs food and go buy them a meal, like you're talking about what your wife just did, right?
Where was it? I remember this conversation. We were in a Ria somewhere, and you had this conversation. I don't remember where was it. About the feeding 1 million people. I remember that.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. I have the same conversation with a lot of people.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. It's like, do one good thing for one person.
Yeah.
You help one person at a time. You're not Elon Musk. Elon Musk is changing the world, but he's not changing the world by feeding people. He's changing the world by coming out with autonomous cars, and you look at that, you go, well, that's a business. No, it's not. He's changing the world.
It's giving us tools.
Right. He's changing the world. He's making a difference in the world. Now,
I agree.
Whether you believe that that's a difference in the world or not, I don't care. But if you want to help somebody, if you want to help people who need food, go find one person who needs food and buy them food. You could buy them food over and over again. It doesn't matter. Or buy them one time.
Correct.
Just go and do it. Stop thinking you have to help people on a large scale, when if you help people on a small scale, you actually will do more good and more good for people by doing, instead of doing nothing.
Agreed.
I mean, Lev 27, right? We help a specific criteria, right?
Yeah.
And the criteria, we're not a welfare program. You can't afford your house, go to welfare. We don't do that. Go to Section 8, do whatever you go. But if you have been in your house, you've been there for 2 years, you've been paying your you're paying your rent on time, and everything's great, and all of a sudden something bad happens. I mean, I remember the very first person we helped. His wife got brain cancer. I mean, how do you predict that somebody's going to get brain cancer? You can't. His wife got brain cancer, had to go for an operation. She was out of work for 2 months, right? He couldn't work because he had to watch the kids.
Of course.
Right? He had to watch the kids, and and then you have this whole thing. And then all of a sudden he's going to be evicted. And look, I got to be honest with you, the landlord's doing what the landlord has to do. I mean, if I got this call, I'm really sorry that this is happening. I mean, it would hurt me and pain me to write the eviction notice, but I got to do it, right? Unfortunately, that's the rules. That's how things work. So he gets this eviction notice. He reaches out to Lev 27, reaches out to us, explains the situation. We find out that it's absolutely true because we have verified. We have verified that all these things happen. We said he was behind I think it was 2.5 months in his rent plus the legal fees, and we reached out to the landlord because one of the criteria is the landlord has to keep them. The landlord has to promise that they're not going to evict them after we pay this, because that's important. I mean, they could evict them 3 months from now if they don't pay the rent again.
Correct.
But they at this point they have to stop the evict them. They have to let them stay there. So everybody agreed. We paid this, and it was the very first person we helped, and it was a few years ago. I'll be honest with you, I had tears in my eyes because I felt so good that we were able to help this person, and we helped this person. Now we don't help a lot of people every year. You know, we're probably helping 6 or 7 people a year because we don't have enough money in the account to help more. Right? We don't have the manpower, we don't have the money, we don't have the resources to do this. So every single person we help what we can. We do what we can. By the way, if you want to make a donation to Love 27, go to love27.org and make the donation. I so appreciate it, and so would anybody else who's helping. If you want to help us spread the word, you can do that too.
Please,
whatever
yes.
you got to do. Love27.org. But that to me, that's also being, I hate saying it, but it's being selfish, because I feel really good about this charity that we created and how I'm helping people. Let's see, we got Nancy. Nancy, what's going on? Nancy, I know who this is.
Yeah, I know.
She's a student.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Nancy?
Yes. Hello, boys. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
She called us boys. We're men.
I'm good. So, one of the things... You are men. One of the things in your book that I liked a lot was to go out and get a $100 Visa card and just keep the Visa card in your wallet until you run into somebody that you feel really needs that Visa card and give it to them.
That's correct.
So, is that selfish or selfless?
I think it's selfish.
It's both. It's both, yes, because it made me feel good.
Right.
It made the other person feel good, too.
And it made me feel good that I told you to do it, and you did it.
Yeah, no, it was a good thing. It's a fantastic school. I think that everybody should come and take, everybody at the school is wonderful. And you can come and take a free class on Thursdays. And everybody will welcome you in, and you'll learn something. And hopefully you'll join the school and learn a whole lot more. It's a fantastic school.
I love it. She's doing the plug that we're not doing. You know, we're not doing any plugs in this show. You know, we sit here, we do a plug for 2 hours, we don't talk about investor schooling. Come to investor schooling. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for class. You get to meet us too, and you can actually, if you want to, you can even debate us whether I'm teaching you selfishly or selfishly.
You just said that in a way that I think describe the best way what we do. If you have any memory of how it was to be in school, that's exactly what you will experience when you come here to investor schooling. You will be in a room with people you love. You will learn something. You will laugh. You will have a blast. We are working on recess. Maybe we'll add recess to the whole experience. But people always say, especially older people, they always say, even me, right? We always say, we always say to our kids, right? You don't know what you're talking about. I would go to school right now. I would go back to school right now. That's what we do. We bring back the school experience for the adults, and we also give them the good education with it. Think about it for a second. That's the best description ever.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what we do. Every experience, every good experience you got from school, every memory you have from the good experience you have in school, we have here in investor schooling.
And you make money too.
And you learn how to make money too.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Cool. Nancy, so remember, this is the Nancy who 6 months ago we dared her to come to class. Remember she called in?
You still owe me dinner.
I still, was it lunch or dinner?
I know, it wasn't a French place.
I think it was lunch. But now we also said we had to bring Nancy along.
Correct.
So we have to set that up.
I know.
Right. So Nancy called like 6 months ago, and we dared you to come to class. And then you finally did, and you have become a success story, right?
I wish that I did this 5 years ago.
Isn't it amazing? So all you people who are waiting 5 years, stop waiting.
Yeah, stop waiting. This is unsolicited advice. I'm not being paid. Stop waiting and show up. It's amazing.
And if you are...
Stuff that you'll learn.
If you are a listener that is listening for us for the last, 3-4 years, you also remember who Nancy was and who Nancy is, and you figure out exactly on your own that the change can happen to anybody when they get out of their comfort zone and they just attend the class on Thursday. That's the only thing you need to do.
And the class is how much?
I think it's free, right?
It's free, right?
It's still free?
It's still free?
It's still free.
We should start charging for it.
I know.
Maybe people will come more. Nah.
Why people are, people don't believe it's
should
free.
I keep it free or should I charge, Nancy? What do you think?
I think keep it free. Be selfish.
Yeah. Very good. I was about to say in the vibe we have in this show today, it must stay for free.
what a beautiful comeback! Like bring it back to the beginning of the show, right?
No doubt, no doubt at all.
Fantastic.
I know.
So Nancy, we're gonna see you Monday night.
See you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cool.
You'll see me Monday morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have the Honors Club Monday morning.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's right.
Party
at the party at my house, right?
Correct.
All right, cool. All right, Nancy, we'll see you then. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you later.
We didn't talk about money, Larry. What are we buying on Monday? What are we buying on Monday? I have a few picks, but we'll need to talk about that. Yeah.
So on Monday, what we're talking about right now is actually on Monday. So we trade in the fund. So you guys, we talked about the Sultan Income Fund, which is a really cool fund. You know, we've been paying our investors between 3 and 4% a month. Oh, we're not allowed to say that anymore.
In the fund.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say that anymore.
No. So we can say that we paid our investor 3 to 4% a month.
Actually, 3.1% average.
So we can say we say that
we can,
because it's the history.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
So we paid our investors 3.1% per month on average since the fund's inception, which is amazing.
Over 35% a year.
That's what that would be. Yeah.
Show me a place make you 35% a year.
Well, be careful because past performance is no guarantee of future performance.
I'm talking about the past.
And you have to be a accredited investor, and it's by private placement memorandum only.
Correct.
And principal. I don't even know all the things I'm supposed to say, but whatever you're supposed to say. But if you want to find out more about the fund, you can actually send a text message to 26786. That's 26786. Text the word Sultan, SULTAN, to 26786. Sultan to 26786. So real quick, where I was going with that is we actually have our students watch us trade in the fund. So that's what Nancy was talking about. She's going to watch us trade on Monday. And we take 15 minutes a month to trade and make millions of dollars. Anyway, I want to thank all the listeners for listening. I want to thank the Nancys for calling in. I want to thank Michael and Todd for calling in, too. They guys were awesome. Some great conversations today.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing thing, right? I want to thank Omri for being here, of course, and the
sweet
Glenn Page for being our awesome producer, even if he kept interrupting us all day today. But no, that's all right.
We like it that way.
I know. So go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and you can learn more. See you on Thursday.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
All right, hang on 1 second.
Only those of Investor Schooling or their guests